Hi guys. So the focus of this video primarily is to go over the questions or question that was the most missed on that CFA that we just took. Okay. But before we start getting into each of those problems, I would like you to go fill out the attendance form that is in the stream. Okay. So go ahead and pause the video, go to Google Classroom, and in the stream on the announcement for today, I posted the attendance form that you need to click on and fill out. Okay? Okay, so our focus is not going to be on what question number this was, whether we got it right or wrong, right? What we are going to focus on is the type of problem that we are given, okay? And the fact that most of us that got the question wrong is because we did not draw a picture, okay? So when you're drawing a right triangle, or when you get a real world problem like this that's a word problem, it has real life things in it, you have to imagine if you had it in front of you, right? So if you have a skateboard ramp, right, we know that has to be my slanted line. And it's not going to be perfect because I'm drawing with my little pen. So that ramp is slanted, right? So if you see the word ramp, you know that has to be your diagonal, okay? The word diagonal is also the C, right? So diagonal, ramp, ladder, those are all going to be the hypotenuse or the C, right, of the right triangle, okay? So then that means you need the support of the ramp or the house, if it's talking about a ladder, right? And then you need the bottom, right, or the floor. Okay, so if you notice on this one, there's my little right angle, or what we think is the right angle, right? It's automatically pointing across from C. So then that just means the other two sides have to be my A and my B. Okay, so a mistake that I saw some of the students in my class making was they saw the 3 and the 7 and they automatically did this, right? Which that just means 3 squared and 7 squared. Okay, that is part of the process. However, after you get that part done, now you have to know, are those A and B? Is that C and another side, right? So you really have to pay attention to how the question words it for you, right? It says the ramp has a height. So that's how high it is. That's how tall it is, right? That has to be my 3. And most of us were getting that part down. But then the part where it said diagonal of 7, that is my C, guys. So diagonal, hypotenuse, C, that's the ramp, that's the ladder. That is your C value. So remember, if you did this, perfect, wonderful. You got 9, and then you should have gotten 49, right? Because that one just means 3 squared. This one means 7 squared. But remember, if you have side C, right, we know what this is, then you're going to have to subtract these two numbers. So instead of adding them like we're used to, the easier way, right, it's easy to just add them, get whatever we're missing, and square root, because my formula tells me that, right? A squared plus B squared equals C squared. If we are given the C, we can automatically find C squared. And so then that means we're missing something from the side, okay? That means that I'm missing something from here or from here. So I have to subtract. So this is the part that we should have done. 49 minus 9. And then now we can take square root, because really this means that's my B squared. That's what I was missing right here, right? But I have one more step. Remember, our final step is to do square root. So this is where we should have done square root of 40. to get our B. And I'll let you figure out what that answer choice is, okay? Go ahead and fill that out on your pear deck. What I would have liked to happen is you watch this and your pear deck at the same time. I'll make sure to put that in directions, okay? So you can be correcting those two. Okay, so if you haven't opened it yet, or by now, let's go ahead and make sure that we have the intervention pear deck opened. It's only 2 questions, right? 2 problems to focus on. So now we're on problem 2. Okay, and we did fairly well on this problem considering we had only practiced it a short amount of time. Okay, so when we're given problems like this, we have to use what we know, and that's the approach that I want you to take. So which measurements would represent the side lengths of a right triangle? So we know what a right triangle would look like, right? Hopefully. Okay, so I'm going to draw my best version of a right triangle. And obviously that's my favorite because I did it on the last problem. Okay, so, and then I know that this is what would be my right angle, right? So it's pointing to C. I should know that C is the biggest number, right? So if I look at my answer choices, I notice that 9 should be my C, 13 should be my C, 15 should be my C, and then 222 should be my C, right? Remember, biggest number is C. Okay, on your test that you took, there's reference material. Reference material is your star chart. Star chart just tells you A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, that formula we don't have to memorize, but we do have to memorize what this little 2 means. That means that you have to square every number. You have to multiply the number that they give you times itself, right? Same process like we've been doing, right? So if I take my first answer choice A, I'm going to have to do 7 squared plus 8 squared. And I'm going to say, is that equal to 9 squared? Okay, so 49 plus 64, 81, right? So if I add those two together, 9, 10, 12, 6, 10. I did that quickly in my head, so if I'm not right, I'm sorry. But 10, 9, 10, 12. Oops, I did that wrong, actually. 213, 113. 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. Okay, that should be right. Anyway, my point is, right, 113 is not equal to 81. Okay, that is a false statement. So I could not pick answer choice A as my correct answer, right? So this is going to require you to do a little more work because you have to check each answer choice. Okay, but you have to show your work, guys. It helps, trust me. Okay. So those are the 2 questions we missed, or the ones that were the most missed. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you missed it, right? I just wanted to give us some feedback on those 2, make sure we were understanding the process and how all of your numbers still have to be squared, okay, to use Pythagorean theorem. On the 2 questions, because there were 2 questions that had, let me do an example real quick. Okay, there were 2 questions where we had to find C. So let's say they gave us 6 and 8. Okay, we did well on the part where we knew it was addition, right? Because we're missing C. But we have to remember that we need to square them first. Okay, your formula tells you that, right? Your formula tells you A squared. So that means I can't just use 6. I have to do 6 times 6 to give me 36. Okay, and then some students even did the table well, right? We did this, I saw a lot of good work. We filled in, let's say 6 and 8. We got 36. We've got 64. And so now our last step was to add. We knew it was addition, but we added the wrong two numbers, right? This is just a regular A, B. I need this column, my A squared, B squared, okay? Those are the two that need to be added together. Okay, so I've taken up 10 minutes of your time. Hopefully it helps you for your STAR test, not STAR test, Unit 6 test, but it is STAR-like, so just in preparation, okay? So now good luck on your test. We know you can do it. Try your best and draw pictures, okay? Bye, guys. See you next week.